There are some additional hair tips that I hope will be helpful for you at home while you're caring for your hair and hopefully being creative and trying some different things. So in the last video, we talked about porosity and how it's so important to know that more so than your hair type, because porosity is what tells you how to keep your hair moisturized. Wanted to go a little bit further with that and talk more about sealing, which is the way that you retain moisture, because if you're sealing your hair properly and retaining moisture, then you're creating the healthiest hair environment possible, whether your goal is growth, moisture retention, or the like. If you're sealing your moisture in regularly, you're doing the best thing you can do for your hair. So when we talk about sealing, what we're talking about is locking in the moisture with some agent, typically a light breathable oil, a natural oil, an oil that doesn't have additives, unnatural preservatives, drying alcohols, things like that, but a nice pure oil that's good for your hair, or an oil blend. And so how you seal your hair really depends on how you're styling and what your goals are. For some people, it's the case that incorporating oil during the styling process helps to retain moisture best. So what that would look like is, say you're styling a wash and go. After you've washed it, you've conditioned it, and then you're putting in whatever styling product you're going to use. If you were using the Curl Theory Moisture Collection, you'd be putting in the Leave-In Miracle Worker. After you've put that in, some people like to then add oil and lock in the moisture and then let the hair dry. For others, that doesn't work, and they prefer to use oil after hair is dry. They prefer to use a leave-in and then a gel, let the hair dry, and then seal with oil. That's perfectly fine. There's no right or wrong, and the key is to experiment with what works best for your hair and then to do it. Then you've styled your hair, and then it's a question of how to maintain it every day. We should be sealing daily, unless you've got an oil that is weighing your hair down, in which case you probably need to adjust it and choose something lighter and more breathable. Sealing daily is the key to retaining moisture for longer. So a lot of times we get frustrated and we think, well, I just did my hair on Sunday and it's Tuesday and it's dry, it's brittle, what's going on? Well, that probably has to do with the fact that it is not retaining moisture and maybe you're not sealing frequently enough. For some of us, we need to rehydrate. So maybe day 2 of your wash and go, you need to mist with water to reactivate the product and then seal with oil. And what you'll find is that you retain moisture for longer. If it's a twist out, same thing. Maybe you take your twists out every day and you retwist at night. If you feel that your hair is dry and it's not retaining moisture, mist it with water first, then seal with oil, and see if that doesn't help the moisture retention for longer. We tend to grab more product and add more product before just refreshing and moisturizing by sealing with the oil. So try to see what results you get and whether you see more moisture retention for longer periods if you seal daily. And when you feel like you need more moisture, you rehydrate with water and then seal with oil before adding more product. See if that produces a different result for you. Another thing that's important when we're talking about retaining moisture and sealing with oil, remember that oil only locks in the existing moisture. Oil in and of itself does not moisturize your hair. It seals in your moisture foundation. So that's why it's so important that you start every style with a really, really strong moisture foundation, whether it's a leave-in conditioner or a styling cream or a combination of both. That's going to be your moisture foundation, and the oil is just locking in what you've put into your hair from that moisture foundation. The other thing to remember is that you shouldn't always expect shine. For those of us who grew up with our hair relaxed, or maybe we blow out more frequently than we wear our hair in its natural state, we often notice a difference between the shine that we get when it's straight versus the sort of a natural sheen that we get when it's textured. That is strictly a function of how light hits the hair. It doesn't mean that your hair is chronically dry or not in a healthy state. It just means that when light is hitting straight hair, it doesn't have to navigate twists and turns. It reflects easily. It looks shiny. When it's textured, there are more twists and turns that light has to navigate, and so it doesn't look as shiny. Instead, you just may see a healthy sheen. If you see that, that's a good thing. Don't think that it's bad that your hair is not always shiny. And remember that oil on top of anything is just going to seal in what's already there. So it may give you a temporary shine, but when that goes away, what that means is the shine is gone. It's not that your hair is unhealthy. So hopefully those tips are helpful. We'll keep it going. Anything in particular you have questions about, let me know. Take care, stay safe.